Hey, it's Brother Blood. I'm getting ready in a month and a half or so to start my through hike of the Appalachian Trail and talk a little bit about the gear that I'm going to be taking with me. But I'm not just going to lay out all my gear and just go through it. I'm going to break it down into groups, and sometimes I like to poke fun at the ultralighters, and throughout the gear that I go through, ultralighters will have a chance. And as I go through the gear, not today, but in other times, the ultralighters will have a chance to poke a little fun at me for some of the choices I've made. They're going to weigh me down a little bit on the trail, but I know what I can take. I know what I want to take. So I want to start today just with what's known as the big four, even though it's going to be way more than four items for me, and that is your backpack and your sleeping system. So if you tent, you're looking at your backpack, your tent, your sleeping bag, and your sleeping pad. Because I hammock, there's a few more pieces to it. But let's just get started with the pack. I'm going to be hiking with the Osprey Exos 58. I like 58 liters. It gives me enough room to take everything I need, plus a couple extra luxury items, but not so much that I can load my pack up full of a bunch of crap I don't need and weigh myself down. I was attracted to this pack because of its weight, but once I tried it on, it was so comfortable. If it weighed twice the weight, I'd probably still take it just for the comfort. And as I talk about this gear, I know some people like to have the gear debate. You know, their gear is better. Oh, you should try this. You should try that. Hey, I'm just telling you what I use. This is a suggestion. But don't think that I think my gear is any better than anybody else's. I just know it's right for me. So I thought I'd be hammocking. I'm going to be taking this Eno double nest. I tried the sub 7, which would be way lighter than this. It just wasn't, it was too narrow. It didn't feel steady. I want to be comfortable when I sleep. And I have just the regular size Atlas straps, not the Atlas XL. I might try the Helos, I think they're called. Kind of ultralight straps. And I have a larger bag to throw the straps in because nothing's rolling up the damn straps every morning. I'm just going to throw them in that bag, throw them in the pack, and go. I just have the regular rain fly, the Pro Fly, and I use 6 MSR groundhog stakes, lightweight, very durable stakes to put it up. So that's the basic hammock setup. In the cold weather, though, keep in mind when you're in a hammock and you compress your sleeping bag, the bottom part of the sleeping bag loses all its insulation. So you need an underquilt or a pad. Some people use something like a Thermarest Pro Light 1-inch pad. That works just as well. I've got the Eno Blaze Down underquilt. Not cheap, but worth it. That's really good in cold weather. For the sleeping bag I'm going to start with, I'm going to go with the REI Igneo 19-degree bag. Now I've had this set up with the Blaze underquilt and the REI Igneo sleeping bag. I've had it down to 14 degrees in the winter and been just fine. So I think that's going to hold me in the first part, then the last part of the trail. When I get to Virginia, I'm going to want to change in for some warmer gear. I'm not going to want to carry the heavy stuff. I don't want to sleep in a 19-degree bag when it's 50 degrees out. I'm just not going to sleep well. And that underquilt's going to be a bit much when I'm in Virginia, when I'm in Shenandoah, when it's a lot warmer. So what I did for an underquilt is I rigged up a military poncho liner. I think now they call them woobies. You can go online or to any surplus store and pay $30 to $35 for one of these. Then I went to REI and I got some shock cord. You'll notice this has a nylon border. I just cut some slits in it, ran the shock cord through there, made one big loop of shock cord, put carabiners on each end. That's what I hook it to my hammock with, and it makes a great lightweight underquilt. Let me tell you something about hammocking. Because you have no insulation underneath, even a night in the mid-50s can be cold as hell. I was in Pennsylvania with the lawyers this year, and it's a couple guys I hike with. Don't ask. Don't ask. And it was 53 degrees one night, and my bottom half was cold, but my top half was real toasty. So it made for a real uncomfortable sleep because then you roll around and then the other half is cold and your top is still really hot. So it sucked. So this lightweight Whoopee, this military poncho liner works great. If you go to the blog atfootsteps.com, atfootsteps.com, you'll see I have a story about exactly how I built that. And like I said, go to Amazon or any surplus store. You'll find them all over the place. And for my summer sleeping bag, I am going to switch over to the Kelty Cosmic Down 40. This thing weighs about 1 pound, 10 ounces. It's been absolutely fantastic. Easily can take me down to 40 degrees and I'll be very comfortable. So that's my basic setup. Cocoon, hood pillow. I like the inflatable pillow with a hammock because your head's up a little more, so you don't have to barely inflate this to be real comfortable in the hammock. Now, if it gets a little cold, I can always have this sent to me. This is a sleeping bag liner by Sea to Summit, one of the Thermalite Reactor series. I also may use this in the summer for the nights when it's a little warmer and I don't want to be in a sleeping bag. It kind of works as a sleeping sleeve. So there'll be times when I carry this sleeping bag liner with me, like when it's about 70 to 75 degrees, maybe even 65 degrees, this liner is all the sleeping bag you need. So that's my big four. That is the backpack and my sleeping system. It comes to about 10.5 pounds. When I add this, it's about 11 pounds. Yeah, I'd like to be lighter. If I was tenting, I could probably get down to a comfortable 8 to 8.5 pounds. But I just love hammocking. It's more comfortable, and I don't mind the extra weight. So next time we'll talk about some of the clothes I'm going to take, and then soon we're going to get into electronics. We'll get into miscellaneous. But by the time I get done with these videos, you'll know all the stuff I'm taking with me on my through hike. This is Brother Blood. I'll talk to you again soon.